You want to meditate for 5 minutes or just to teaching? You want to listen teaching about 5 minutes? Okay, visualize the 5 branches tree. Okay, if you're not, just told you, right? If you're not Buddhist and you're not ready, you don't have to. Just to relax your mind, calm, and try to recognize the true nature. Just calm. If you're Buddhist, try to this visualization. At the end, we are done the meditation. Then, if you have any questions, just let me know about the visualization. So, you know how to visualize the refuge tree, right? Okay. So first, if you're Buddhist, we're going to say the refuge prayer 3 times. After that, then try to visualize, okay? We can't most of you can together, visualization, the prayer, but maybe some can't. So we should today do separately. First recite 3 times and then visualize, you know. So there are 2 ways to visualize, easiest and complicated ways. So whatever you want, you like, okay? The first page, go for refuge. Namo, until we have reached the very heart of enlightenment, I and all infinite number of beings, my mothers and fathers, go for refuge to the Guru and the 3 jewels. May we not be parted from you for a moment. Please accept us with your love. Namo, until we have reached the very heart of enlightenment, I and all the infinite number of beings, may mother and fathers go for refuge to the Guru and the 3 jewels. May we not be parted from you or for a moment. Please accept us with your love. Namo, until we have reached the very heart of enlightenment, I and all infinite number of beings, my mothers and fathers, go for refuge to the Guru and 3 jewels. May we be parted from you for a moment. Please accept with us loves. Oops. Any question? Yeah?
Could you tell us the names of the lineage from Dudjom to you?
Or this the teacher? His name is Tamba Wamshuk. There is a picture on this book. Dzogchen master. Two years ago, he was the most famous teacher in Tibet. He teaches only Dzogchen. I mean, some other, but main sort of. He's, I think, 70 something. He passed away. 76 years old, I think. And thousands of people, his disciples, practicing this preliminary. And he is the kind of last hodls of this lineage. So his name is Tamba Wamshuk. Oh, who he received it? I think many teachers, from many teachers, like Khenpo Jigme Panso and Anzam Dukpa, I think. So many teachers. He studied, practiced this in prison, in jail. A long time ago, the Chinese government took him to the jail. So many years, 15 years, I think. So he told us he had a great opportunity to meditate. Yeah, most the Dzogchen masters, they really practice in the jail because nothing to do, right? So you have lots of time, and that gives you really, if you meditate in the jail, and then everything is fine. They took these teachers took in jail because of they have something wrong with their mentally or emotionally. No, because they are famous, right? They are important person. They want to sort of try to kill like that. So that's why they went to jail many years. But that's for them. It's really good because lots of time to practice. And they're very happy in jail. Okay. Any other questions about the visualization refuge tree? Easy? Okay, no question. Then now, you have one question?
Yeah, at the end, with the dissolution,
Yep.
is it all the sentient beings with you and the deities, or just the deities that dissolve?
Everything dissolved into nature. This all, I will tell you, but all the 5 preliminary, refuge, bodhicitta, mandala, Vajrasattva, all, the main point, the goal is the same. What is the main point? Try to recognize the reality. Try to recognize your mind through practice refuge, through practice bodhicitta, through practice, but same, but different methods, right? So that's you need to know. All this dissolution, this is actually same. Bodhicitta, Vajrasattva, Guru Yoga. At the end, you just need to relax and try to understand the nature of mind. That is the point. But different methods, right? So you have to know that. Now I would like to talk about preliminary practice and bodhicitta. This is my favorite, right? You know that. Because this is the most important practice, I think, especially this time. So bodhicitta, short, bodhicitta means a good kind heart. That's I always think. Good kind heart is only arise for someone who has good mind, someone who has a big heart, not someone with bad intentions. So it is important in meditation to have right sort of motivation, right? Which is based on bodhicitta, and it is like the key which opens the door, of enlightenment, door of liberation, door of big heart, kind mind, compassion, bodhicitta motivation gives our life its best possible meaning and makes every single actions of our daily life as beneficial as it can possibly be. So remember it constantly and practice it frequently. Maybe like practice refuge, you have to sit and then relax, and then this visualization, visualize the tree, all of that. But at this time, usually, when you meditate on bodhicitta, it's not necessarily to sit and practice, which means very important to remember all the time this kind mind, right? Usually people upset, somebody say something verbally, somebody do something, action, physically, and we are angry, right? So that time we have to remember bodhicitta, I think, remember. You can absolutely, of course, practice, when you sit and meditate, practice on bodhicitta. But I think very important, when you're not practicing, you have to remember this kind mind, compassion. All living beings. We see every day different people. We hear every time, every day, good and bad things, right? So that gives us actually opportunity to think about kind mind, big heart, bodhicitta. And there are two levels of bodhicitta. There are absolute bodhicitta and there are relative bodhicitta. Absolute bodhicitta is the realization that the ultimate nature of all phenomena is emptiness. Okay? It's about the nature, the reality. And then relative bodhicitta has two differences where, there is the thinking, aspiration bodhicitta, and doing something, action, bodhicitta. So first it's very important to practice the inspiration bodhicitta. And these two different between aspiration and action bodhicitta is the aspiration bodhicitta means, it's about wishing good things for other beings. That's all. That's we have to sort of develop every day, you know. It sort of desires all living beings to be free from unhappiness, to be free from suffering. So the aspiration is mostly a state of your mind and doesn't sort of include activities, you know, doing something, right? So first, you know, you wishing or something, you know, you develop in your mind. That's why, you know, what is aspiration bodhicitta? How we practice aspiration bodhicitta? Do you remember the four immeasurables that we have here, open prayer? That is aspiration bodhicitta. How you practice equanimity, love, compassion, and joy, right? Equanimity, why first? Equanimity means all beings equally want happiness and don't want suffering. That's the first Buddha's teaching. Okay? There are many different people, many different animals, different beings, but basically we all beings, we all, which means everyone wishes and wants to be free from suffering. And everyone wishes to achieve happiness. So therefore, we need to understand in deeply that all beings have equally sort of same desire. That's why practice on equanimity first. And then second is practice on love, right? Which means wishing that all sentient beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. We always say this. Maybe not necessarily we are thinking well, but we are saying that causes of happiness and, you know, free from, free from suffering. That's compassion. Compassion is wishing all living beings free from suffering, right? And then, of course, the fourth, the immeasurable, is joy. This is wishing that all sentient beings who already have happiness and who already have good things continue to grow sort of that for them, you know. So this is very important. This is antidote for jealousy, you know, or competition. These two are main obstacles in our life. Jealousy and competition makes us suffering, makes us, you know, brings, you know, unhappiness and worries. Do you understand? That's why joy, the fourth immeasurable practice, is very important. If you joy, somebody has good things or already have a happiness, you enjoy, right? Enjoy with that, rejoice, not jealous. Oh, somebody has this, I don't have, you know. So this is very, very important, you know, because if we get jealous, then we get angry. When we get angry, we will lose everything, physically, mentally, everything. So actually, jealous is the cause of anger, actually, I think. You know, cause, you know, makes unhappy, makes very uncomfortable. So if you practice joy, that's the best antidote, you know, for jealousy or competition. So practicing these four measurable qualities will cause us to develop genuine aspiration bodhicitta. We have done this many times, you know. So, and if you can't practice immeasurable, I mean, there's no reason can't practice immeasurable. But usually, like Patrick Rinpoche said, that the only one you can develop your aspiration bodhicitta, it's kind heart. Through, the just training yourself, always have kind heart and practice compassion. That's how you practice aspiration bodhicitta. So think about compassion, think about love, joy, and equanimity. It's actually wishing something, right? You develop that. It's not really action. You're doing something for help others. It's not. That's why we call it aspiration bodhicitta. These 4 measurables, actually different methods, but it's actually bodhicitta. It's aspiration bodhicitta. And then action bodhicitta, by putting into action remember 6 paramatas, 6 transcendent perfections. So here you really do something and help others that you were thinking about helping in aspiration bodhicitta. So there is a kind of, order. First, you have to practice aspiration bodhicitta. Without aspiration bodhicitta, you can't help others. Maybe you can, but then that's not perfect way to help others, because maybe your motivation is wrong. Maybe, something is wrong there. After, when you investigate, maybe you help others because of think about yourself or think about your family or something, something. You want something from this person. First you help, and then first you give. For example, like in China, lots of these leaders get lots of monies because these business people give them money, but they want something from them. That's not perfect way to help others. So if you understand all sentient beings want suffering, so that's why I try to harm others and help others. That's perfect motivation. Nothing you are looking for from this person, So that's why paramatas is actually the 6th paramata or transcendent perfection. It's really you're doing something, right? For example, the paramata, generosity, you give something to somebody. Discipline, you're doing something. Patience, diligence, something. It's meditative concentration, wisdom. All these 6 paramatas, not you're wishing or thinking something, but you're doing something. So in order to practice 6 paramatas, first you have to practice aspiration bodhicitta, and then, the action bodhicitta will be perfect. So when you practice action bodhicitta, you just really need try to do something benefit rather than thinking. Okay, so that's a different bodhicitta. So many people are not ready to practice action bodhicitta, but they're ready to practice aspiration bodhicitta. So this is the foundation of Mahayana's path. So that's it's very detailed, but most of you really understand very well about bodhicitta, because I always teach the bodhicitta all the time. So now I think you understand very well. So when you practice bodhicitta preliminary, that's the 2nd preliminary here. So first, you need just watching your breath, few minutes. It makes it's calm, and then when your thoughts will sort of have calm, then you visualize all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, just like you did with the refuge tree practice. So almost same. Just visualize the refuge tree again, actually. And then, second, you choose the situation of a person or yourself or family or your friends or society, so which is suffering at this time. This will be the object of your contemplation. This will be like, how you practice aspiration, bodhicitta. So meditate on this sort of suffering, whatever you visualize, suffering, until your heart sort of fills with great compassion. It will, if you really sort of practice. First, you need to visualize the refuge tree, because they are enlightened beings. They are Buddhas, Bodhisattvas there. So you kind of need support. You need somebody's help, right? You need blessings from. That's why we have refuge tree. But the main your practice in this time, you have to think about someone who is unhappy or suffering. That's your object. If you do this meditation, you will come understand to understand of how that suffering feels, Then you are able to see that other beings suffering. That's we need, Then we'll start to develop your capacity to open your mind when you get sort of difficult circumstances. With that feeling, you can start the recitation, the bodhicitta recitation in your preliminary. Okay? And at the end, little bit different. At the end of the recitation, you will then dissolve the visualization. It is a little bit like refuge, but a little bit also they are different. So important thing is that at the end, you visualize the receiving the great compassion or bodhicitta of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. When we say Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, we are talking about the bodhicitta, person or, a enlightened being who has a full of great compassion, full of love. That's what we're talking about here in the refuge tree. You visualize Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. They are not just ordinary people. They are just, maybe physically like Buddha Shakyamuni is like a human being, exactly same as, but mentally full of compassion, full of bodhicitta. So we're talking that. So if you visualize that in front of you with your strong sort of devotion, definitely you will get blessings from them. So at the end, you need that, you visualize all of that, and then you will imagine the sort of assembly, this dissolving into light, starting from the outside and moving towards the center image. And then the light comes to you and sort of dissolve you. At this point that you receive the blessings of bodhicitta. And you feel, believe me, you feel different at that time. Something, you more energy, more compassionate, That's what we call blessings. Blessings, sometimes people misunderstand. Blessings means you see something or you get something like, miracle or magic things. That's not blessings. That's obstacles. It's opposite of blessings. Sometimes, I can do this. Usually, ordinary people can't. But I got blessings. That's obstacle. The blessings means more compassionate, your mind, more compassion, more bodhicitta, bigger heart. You feel something, comes something, in your mind, very sort of understand all living beings, the situation, and I don't want to harm any others, and something like that is we call the blessings, energies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, the bodhicitta. So the Mahayana Buddhist point of view, this practice is the most important practice. For example, when you practice, whatever you practice, refuge, bodhi, Vajrasattva, mandala, guru, you cannot practice without bodhicitta. That's for sure. For example, when you practice like purification, Vajrasattva, think about this. The amount of purification you get from Vajrasattva meditation does not depend upon how many the 100-syllable mantras you recite, but on their quality. The quality is the most important. Of course, the number has power. One Vajrasattva 100-syllable you recite one time, and you recite 100 times. Okay, the 100 time is more power than one time. But in here, when you think about bodhicitta, it's not the number, it's the quality. It's your motivation, So quality of your recitation is much more important. So even if you recite just a 100-syllable mantra, how much negative emotion, negative karma gets purified depends on how you recite it. Okay, this is very important, to understand. So whatever practice you do should go, with bodhicitta mind. Then that I'm saying here, the quality. So when we practice bodhicitta, is sometimes a little bit difficult. If you don't know, I always think this. If you don't know, practice bodhicitta. If you don't practice bodhicitta, then thinking about suffering, difficult, right? Makes you more suffer. Actually, is torturing yourself, right? Think about only suffering, because there is no solution, no antidote. But this is totally different. If you practice bodhicitta and compassion, then thinking about suffering can be extremely beneficial, because you will see the benefit of practice, and you really don't want harm others anymore. Because of this practice, because of you understand how others feeling, the suffering. So you also will understand really, you will also, grateful, appreciate living beings. For example, without the living beings, existence of the living beings, we cannot practice. We cannot. Without this, we cannot, there's no way to generate the kindness, the great compassion, the big heart, So we cannot engage in this practice. So then you will understand, every single happiness we ever experience comes to us through the kindness of this all living beings. It depends upon them. So that's why, remember, the Shantadevas, the way of Bodhisattva, always said that, why don't we take care of other living beings in the same way that we take care of ourselves? There is actually no difference. Everybody wants happiness. So when, if you practice this, even like inspiration bodhicitta, you really, the result, the benefit of this practice, you really don't want to harm others. Physically, verbally, mentally. That's the thing, that's the benefit. I think that's the benefit. So that's why, it's very wonderful if we have a kind mind or big heart. But it's not automatically calms us, We have to change how we think, how we do, We have to change that. So, so this is, you really need to, not you, but include myself, you know. And I always, this is, you know, this when I teach in Tibet, you know, this is my message, you know, that I really want sort of to make sure that everybody understand how important bodhicitta and the benefit of this practice. So this practice actually immediately help us. You know, for example, when we get angry, think of bodhicitta. You know, when we get angry, upset, what is the point of our practice? You know, if we don't remember this, what we don't. So if you know, if we can't practice bodhicitta when we get sort of upset, angry, or difficult, then what is the point of our meditation? It's nothing. So meditation is help when we have difficult situation. That's the point. So, for example, if you get angry with somebody and then you remember bodhicitta and then you don't want harm, and it makes your, you know, mind calm and no talk for a while, and then nicely you have conversation with this meditation. It's very, very good. So this lifetime, this life is very precious, I think. You know, very precious, because the unique opportunity we now have to practice like this kind of things and remove our ignorance and to develop our inner wisdom, you know. Definitely we can develop these qualities. Definitely we can. If we do this, it will be, you know, definitely benefit others and also ourselves. And if we practice bodhicitta, then it will be much easier communicate with others, with society, you know. That's in general bodhicitta and the benefit of bodhicitta meditation. Okay. Now again, how this time again, you know, for example, if you're not Buddhist, then again there is a way to practice kind of bodhicitta. And if you're Buddhist, then of course you have to visualize the refuge tree, and then just I told you, that's first, you know, visualize all the Buddhas, bodhisattvas. But at this time, the main focus is your intention, right? When you practice this, so you know, sometimes we have to think, or we have to say ourselves, you know, from today, whatever I will do, I will say or act or whatever, I will not harm others, and I will be very careful. You know, that sometimes if you have that kind of intention all the time in your mind, it really helps. Now, so you have to remember this kind of intention. And at the end of the practice, you will then dissolve the visualizations, right? So the important thing is that at the end you visualize receiving the great compassion from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So you will imagine again this assembly and all of the tree dissolving into light, and then light comes to you and dissolve into you. So at this point that you receive the blessings of compassion, bodhicitta. And then you just relax and let go everything, That's what we do when you practice this second preliminary. And if you're not Buddhist, then, just relax and get comfortable. Then you can begin meditation by imagining yourself or a person that actually who who is a difficult situation, who has, difficult and then suffering. Visualize on either, actually, if you're not Buddhist, you can visualize yourself, kind of second, yourself, or you can visualize others in front of you. And then imagine all of their suffering, pain, all of that, live in their body. Okay? Visualize this as you're sort of breathing inward, sort of, the moving, remove their suffering. If you visualize somebody in front of you, okay? And then when you breathe sort of out, imagine that all of your happiness give to this person, and he will, be free from suffering. So that's how you visualize others, right? And when you visualize yourself, they're a little bit different, when you breathe in, visualize when you practice with yourself. When you breathe in, sometimes, this is good because sometimes people are very worried and upset, right? That time, you can practice bodhicitta. It's not necessarily take the refuge vow or become a Buddhist, but it really sometimes helps when you have difficult situation. You visualize yourself in front of you, and then when you breathe in, you sort of, take in and remove all your worries and sufferings, right? And then when you breathe out, you get all of the happiness or good things exist in this world. So that's different. That's different between visualize somebody or visualize yourself. Understand? That's all. Any question? Yeah?
If you want to, on a daily basis, renew your bodhisattva vow, could you do that at this time in your preliminary practices?
Yes. Yes, you can. When I do is in the morning, when I wake up, then I take the bodhisattva vow. Every morning, every single day, take the bodhisattva vow, say the prayers. Yep.
There's this word that's come up a few times in the Sangha here is a word Tonglen.
Tonglen.
So, in essence, Tonglen is similar to what we're talking about in terms of bodhicitta as far as
Yes, that's true. Tonglen practice.
You're exchanging yourself for the benefit of others, or not exchanging, but your orientation with Tonglen is, if you practice strong enough, then you may have the opportunity to bring greater benefit to others. Is that correct?
Yes, that's Tonglen is another meditation, part of meditation of aspiration bodhicitta. Tonglen is practice bodhicitta. Tonglen is also something really you visualize and wishing somebody free from suffering. So it's aspiration bodhicitta. So aspiration bodhicitta, many ways you can develop this, right? So many methods. So Tonglen is one method that you developed aspiration bodhicitta. Yep.
Do we visualize around us the like our parents and others in this practice, like we do the refuge, or just concentrating on the?
Well, that sometimes good, sometimes not so good. it depends how you think, right? So sometimes when we meditate on bodhicitta and we think about all living beings who is suffering around us, it's kind of, yeah, and sometimes it's better that you know somebody is really suffering and think about that, then really sort of fills your heart, fills with compassion. It's stronger sort of than visualize all living beings, Sometimes I think that, when I meditate on this, even I don't know all living beings. Why I'm meditate on that? I mean, this is actually bodhicitta. You have to think about others, but sometimes really helpful if you visualize someone who is really suffering and very close to you, right? Maybe your family, maybe your parents. Then you do that all the time, many times, and then really your heart, your mind will change. And then you have capacity to think others, expand your more and more, and think about others. Think about whole living beings like that. You can, right? But maybe the first time, visualize someone who who is suffering. Maybe, it depends, how you feel. So you need something really strong connection, with this when you meditate on bodhicitta. Something you really, the powerful intention or motivation, So when you think about, at the end, think about your meditation, you will really need to get something like compassion. Oh, something is different. Not just, when you're done, it's the same, But at the end, when you meditate bodhicitta, usually you get something, really. It's very strong motivation, or you will understand more and, I definitely don't want to harm others. Something like that. Or maybe you have more than that, like maybe great compassion. You get blessings from the Buddha's bodhisattvas. Through logic, why everybody wants happiness. Well, these kind of things actually sometimes very helpful and support your meditation, bodhicitta, with reason, right? With reason, why am I meditate on this? It depends you. Okay. Yeah.
When we do the Vajrasattva practice, we do our visualization, and then the mantra is what we count for the 100,000. But I'm confused about with bodhicitta.
No, it's
which part are we?
no. This when
the
you.
whole prayer that we do.
Yep. When you practice refuge, this namo until we have reached this. Please accept us with your love. That's you have 100,000. Okay, bodhicitta, same thing, 100,000.
You don't visualize that over and over. You just, once you have your visualization, then you do the prayer.
If you can.
Yeah.
If you can, then without visualization, no visualization, just say prayers, not so strong, right? So with visualization, then say the prayers, and then very good. That way you can change your mind, definitely.
So do you want us to be doing prostrations with refuge and bodhicitta, or do you want us to do prostrations through
Well, prostration actually goes with, refuge, bodhicitta, but usually they do prostration with Guru Yoga.
Because I guess the way I've been practicing this is that I recite the refuge and then the bodhicitta, and then I do the prostration. I'm doing refuge, bodhicitta, and prostration all at once. So if I accomplish 21 of those in an hour, that's when I accomplish.
Well, when I practice, my prostration is not, my prostration with Guru Yoga, but I don't count Guru Yoga. So I sit and practice Guru Yoga 100,000, and then I do prostate 100,000 with Guru Yoga. So I don't count this because sometimes I focus on why my prostate, and then Guru Yoga is not so good. So I do Guru Yoga 100,000 if I can perfectly, and then prostration is separate. But when I prostrate, I say the Guru Yoga prayers or Vajrasattva, whatever. But the prostration is actually different than the 5 preliminaries. So some people do, like when you prostrate one prostrate and say Guru Yoga prayers 1, and then that's also count. But I don't, because it's not so good, So if you can separately, that means like 600,000, right? Like Refuge, the 500,000, and then 100,000 prostration. So that would be like 600,000, right? But some people have difficulty, to do the prostration. So then it's fine. You just to do 5 preliminaries, 500,000. What do you say? Prostration?
How does an older person practice?
It's a little bit difficult, right? It's difficult. Yeah, older person is difficult. Oh well, yeah, no, yeah. Walk, walk. Well, there is a half. We call it half prostration. Half. Full prostration and half prostration, right? So maybe older people do the half prostration slowly, slowly, maybe one day, 10 times, and then more and more, But yeah, you're right. It's a little bit difficult, older people, prostration. Their knees and everything is hurt,
Well, someone that maybe physically couldn't do a physical prostration, or someone with a disability, could they visualize the prostration?
Well,
I mean, they shouldn't miss out on that.
we have that. We have vision, yeah, we have that too. We have that. You can, but it's not really. It's aspiration, right?
Right.
It's yeah. I think prostration is also a very good way to purify the negative karma physically. But I think these masters, the prostration is include the 5 preliminary, because 5 preliminary, when you practice 5, most people sit, right? Sit and then 5 preliminary. I think they understand that all the time you sit, it's not so good for your health. So that's why prostration is good for exercise and purify your negative karma. So that's why I think they did that. All right, now meditate on bodhicitta. What is the prayer? 3 times. So you understand how to practice, right? Clearly, good. Okay, arose bodhicitta, mind. You ready? Protector and your ears, please think of me with the four immeasurable. I will work for the welfare of beings. By maintaining bodhicitta and training the 6 paramatas, may I attain spontaneously accomplished to work for being. Protector and your hearers, please. Protector and your hearers. Thank you. 5 minutes. After you practice aspiration bodhicitta, how you feel? Happy? What else? Calm? Huh? Warm? Okay. What else? Full? What do you mean, full? Oh, okay. What else? Huh? Joy? Connected? Spacious. What else? Sad? Sad? That's a good one. What else? Peaceful. Mm-hmm.
Feeling of having a lot of work to do. Broken-hearted.
What?
Broken-hearted.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, definitely you are kind of, when I meditate on aspiration bodhicitta, just immediately I want to do something. That brings, me. I want to do something to others. It's when I meditate on that, less sort of selfish, I'm fine, give me some that idea. It's different people, different feeling, but when I meditate, I'm fine. I want to do something others. And some people, yeah, definitely, when they meditate on aspiration bodhicitta, it's very sad and, that's a strong sort of, feeling. But you don't need to be very sad and don't really sort of, I want to do something, right? But it's different people have different feeling, but actually wonderful. All of your experience good, joy, peace, connected, sad, lots of work, more to do things. Yeah.
I have a question. Before, you had told us when we were doing all the refuge vows, the mantras that we were given were very small. They were from one of the masters, and he had interpreted them, the mantras, as different.
Like 4 or 5 years ago, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so now, when we arouse bodhicitta, we have 4 lines that we are supposed to say as a mantra?
Yep. Well, this is different preliminary, right?
It's a different.
Yeah, usually all the preliminary same, refuge bodhicitta, actually 4 lines you have to count,
Okay.
100,000.
So then, when we take refuge, we do the Namo one. I've been doing almost 100,000 of the. I'm going to have to start over.
Well, this another way is good. Thank you. You don't want to change your preliminary, okay? If you don't want, you don't have to change. You already memorized your preliminary, and you can do that, continue. Actually, they are same. But if you want to practice this preliminary, or you do, okay, then you can also count your other preliminary. For example, if you've done like 500,000 refuge, then you will count this maybe 500,000, and then you have 100,000. Okay? 50,000, yeah, not 100. That would be like 200,000.
I only did the preliminaries once. I'm on my second go now.
Oh, good. So then you work.
I think I'll start here and work my way.
That's nice. Thank you very, very much. Okay, now lunchtime, and after the lunch, the people who want to take refuge vow, I think before the teaching, the afternoon section. So quick eat lunch and come back, and then I give you the vow, okay?
If you could be here very promptly at 1 p.m., that would be really helpful if you're taking refuge.
What?
saying more practice bodhicitta, body, mind, heart, and also daily life. And as I'm walking around bodhicitta,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so I try to do more actions to help others.
Yes, definitely. That's very good. That's, I think, that's the reason. Oh, we have to say the closing prayers. We need to finish our teaching in meditation, right? Remember three sperm methods. So this is the last. May I attain in each and every life the sublime virtues of existence and peace. May I pursue the flawless mind's tree, working for the welfare of others. Through this very merit of mine, may every single sentient beings eliminate all forms of virtues forevermore. May supreme virtues of bodhicitta take birth where it has not a reason, where it has a reason, it never went, but continue to grow forevermore. May I in all my lives, no matter where I am born, obtain the 7 qualities of the upper rooms of it. May I meet the Dharma immediately after taking birth and have the freedom to practice perfectly. May I please the sublime gurus and day and night dedicate myself to the Dharma.